This is the TeamClearCoat podcast. We're two friends finally doing something about our obsession with cars.
We're probably not doing it well, but it should be fun, and we might actually learn something along the way. I'm Ian.
And I'm Dave, and this is our show. Ian.
Dave.
We, even though they're gone now, we managed to sucker somebody to come into the blanket fort with us.
We did, once again. That's right, Nick Lyle, he's the co-founder of a Facebook group called Denver Automotive Enthusiasts. They organize regular cruises and other sorts of events around town, and they have kind of a cool little corner of the internet going.
Yeah, and so you know Nick from interacting with that group on Facebook.
A little bit, yeah. I was in that...
Just internet aware of each other, internet acquaintance.
Right, yeah. I'm real bad at Facebook, so I knew of the group and have interacted with it a couple of times. I posted some of our stuff in there. And then I had posted about our karting event, our 200th episode. And so Nick came and then beat everybody.
Yeah.
And so that's how we got in contact with him.
Yeah, yeah.
But he has a turbo Miata, so of course, he's coming on the show. That's how that works.
Yeah.
Like you said.
So, you know what? I think people are done listening to us. Yeah. Let's just cut to Nick.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All right.
So, hi, Nick. Thanks for coming over.
Hey, thanks.
Yeah, we're here with Nick Lyle, co-founder of Denver Auto Enthusiasts, a very successful Facebook group here in Denver.
Moderately successful.
We'll say very.
Yeah,
it's fine.
It works for me. Yeah.
There's no fact checker sitting outside the door that's going to be like, actually. Yeah, the actually guy, we filter at the door.
Right.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about Denver Auto Enthusiasts.
Well, about 4.5 years ago, me and my buddy Danny had just gotten some Miatas, and
like you do.
When you buy your first Miata and it's your first sports car, what do you do besides go drive on awesome canyon roads like we have in Colorado? So we took to Reddit and made a little Reddit group to try and find more people to do that with.
That's awesome.
Just kind of grown since then, and now we're on Facebook, and Facebook's the most active spot for Denver Auto Enthusiasts now.
That's awesome, man. Yeah. So you guys routinely organize like group drives. Yeah. Talk me through like some of the events that you guys do.
Well, what we've done since day one is we wanted to break up the week and go on a weekday when there's less, joggers and cyclists and everything out on the road. So we would do little post-work Wednesday night drives.
Oh, nice.
And the Wednesday night cruises are what drew people in.
Nice.
Because I guess people like to break up the work week with cars and a beer after responsible driving, of course.
Sure. Ian, why are we not doing these drives?
I don't know. Yeah. Because I'm a very transactional Facebook user. Mm-hmm. Like I get in, I do my business, kind of like I do like at the mall. Like I get in, I go do the thing that I need to do, and then I get out.
You need pants.
Yeah, I'm not a Facebook lingerer, and you don't do Facebook at all. So why is this on me?
You're my way through Facebook, so you should have found Nick and then told me. Yeah.
To take the analogy further, I'm like your personal shopper.
Uh-huh.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, there you go. That's exactly it. Ian? Yeah, okay. You're my Facebook concierge.
Taking in your internet dry cleaning, as it were.
Yeah, Ian.
Moving on. But so anyway, we officially met each other at our 200th episode where you blitzed everyone. You had the only 29 of the night, right?
Yeah.
I think so, right? Yeah. So you've obviously done some racing.
A little bit.
Yeah. So what flavor of racing where do you normally live?
Typically with this car, I got down to Pikes Peak International Raceway for the Time Attack series there.
Okay.
Which is kind of like if you're not familiar with it, it's kind of
like, bring us up to speed.
It's kind of like a slightly higher speed autocross on an actual track. So you can they still have cones, they still have like some slaloms and gates and stuff to tighten things up, but you can actually get up on the curbs and you're not in like a parking lot.
Yeah. And so you do that through NASA or
no?
Or
that's
SCCA,
that's just like a grassroots local series. So it's just put on by Pikes Peak International Raceway. So the Boilos they run it.
Oh, okay.
And they're the owners of the track. And,
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, right on.
But it's a really fun series.
So
that's cool.
So is that like what cross section of cars do you usually see? Is there like somebody just with like a daily driver with no mods to like crazy stuff?
I mean, there's everything in between. Like there have been crazy, like chopped up Ute, like diesel Mercedes Like with
Yes.
like hood dump exhaust, like spitting black smoke and the whole 9 yards. We've had like Dodge SRT 10 pickup trucks. Like
Yes, I love those
and then there's $150,000 fully race car Subarus with race
Sure.
motors and sequential transmissions and everything in between.
Okay.
Which is really fun because you can see any spectrum of cars. Danny brought his fiance Jess, drove her RAV4. Got some pink numbers for it and drove her
Yes.
RAV4 there.
That's awesome.
So
That is awesome.
I am time attacking my old man sedan.
You should,
and
yeah.
it's a great series to run anything you want to run like that.
Ian,
I know. I need to bring my car down there.
every now and then I have to work down at the hospitals down there.
Uh-huh.
I should waylay that into a time attack visit. Ian.
Perfect, yeah.
Yeah.
So you said you do it with this car. Explain to us what this car is.
Yeah.
It's a 99 Miata. It's got a built motor and a turbo and a lot of silly things. It's really loud and it's really fast.
The first thing I noticed about it, I mean, you told me you had a turbo Miata, so I knew that going in, but the wheels on it are absolutely enormous.
Yes.
Like you have some for real meats in it, and it looked like did you have to cut the wheel wells to get those to fit or
it's
anything?
Just a fender roll.
Really?
Okay.
Like fender roll, light pull. Yeah, I'm running the widest street, like a dot tire I can run on this car.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if I went any bigger, I'd have to go to like a full slick.
Okay.
Right. So what size tire are you running?
It's a 245 40 15
Okay.
Wow.
on a 15 by 10 inch wheel.
Okay.
Yeah, 245. That's pretty big for a Miata.
I love the 15-inch by 10-inch wheel.
Yeah.
So on my Infinity, my rear, I have it a staggered setup. The rears are 10 and a half. Like that. I mean, that's for like a 4,200-pound car, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of tire. And so you're running like those R-Spec type tires? Is that what they're allowed to run?
It's a 200 treadwear tire.
Okay.
So it's
the 200 treadwear tire.
I'm running, yeah. And now there's like two classes of 200 treadwear tires. Like half of them are pretty much just a full-on race tire, and the other half are like more of an enduro street tire.
Yeah.
So I'm running. I run both, but I'm on the full race tire spectrum or end of the spectrum now with some Goodrich Rivals.
Okay.
So
Nice.
they're awesome tires.
Nice.
I don't know those. I've never tried those.
Yeah. It's a fantastic looking car. So so you said you've had it built this way since the beginning of last year, right?
It's been I've had the car for almost 5 years now, so it's been a work in progress. Just pretty much the moment I brought it home, I was already ordering a roll bar for it.
Okay.
So in that time, it's had motors swapped out and rebuilt and stuff, and it was been turbocharged for the last 18 months or so.
Okay. And I would imagine we talked about biking before this, like when you had the mountain bike, like on the way, like you also had the Amazon part, like the Amazon cart full of stuff that was going to go onto the mountain bike as soon as you got it.
Yeah,
Like-
scrounging together cool used parts and,
Yeah.
piecing everything together.
Like-
I've always, been a bit of a parts geek and, playing around with suspension settings and swapping out different, offset bushings and the whole 9 yards. So.
Wow. Nice. The tinkerer attitude does well in bikes and cars. That's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like it. Ian and I were trying to figure out how we could both ride as passengers while you were driving.
Get a couple toe straps or ratchet straps in the roll bar, strap one of you down.
Just me on the back. Yeah. I'm having so much fun, also sunburning.
We could just install you vertically on it, and it could be like, up way up north where people have big flags on their car to see around snowbanks, to see over snowbanks.
Yeah.
That's kind of how your head would be.
Right, yeah.
Like a bright orange head just waving around over the
would
snowbank.
People would actually see me in traffic.
Yeah, exactly.
They would, yeah. Yeah.
It's for safety, officer.
Yeah.
It's for safety.
This ginger here, yeah. That would kind of ruin your moment of inertia. Is that what that is, Ian?
I don't know.
Engineering term? At the middle? Yeah.
Sure.
Sure.
Let's go with that.
Yeah.
We're
Just
gonna get-
my dumb head way up in the air.
We're going to get angry emails about that.
Well, that's awesome. This is your first rear wheel drive fun car, or like your first fun car?
It's the first, before this, I didn't own a car throughout college. When I graduated college, my parents gave me the Suburban because I was already going out to go biking and skiing and camping in the mountains. So That was a natural choice, and they wanted to get me a car when I graduated. But yeah, shortly after that, I was like, all right, I want a fun car.
Yeah,
because I've liked cars ever since I was a kid, and just never actually got into them on my own.
Right. Yeah, nice. So, what were you cross shopping the Miata with, or was it just you knew it was going to be a Miata? Because of the
Miata
platform.
was about on the top of the list just because it's it's the inexpensive, easy to work on rear-wheel drive. It's the obvious starter car.
The answer is always Miata.
Yeah. But I also looked at like 944s and E30s and E36s and kind of everything in that spectrum.
Okay.
And it just settled on Miata. 944s were like a little pricey and parts are a little more expensive, and same with the BMWs.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So how did the racing thing start? Did that happen right away, or did you build up to that?
Happened, I don't know, a year after or something.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just, I forgot who. It was probably Danny, but someone was like, "Hey, there's an autocross this weekend." And what do I do? It's like, what's an autocross? I've never been to one.
Right.
So then I went, and then I did another, and I did a couple more, and then blew the motor, spun a rod bearing, and then just went absolutely crazy with everything.
You looked at it as an opportunity to upgrade.
Yeah. Full forged bottom end, and all the parts needed to make way more power than a Miata ever really needs.
Right.
Was there a moment right after you did that where you were like, "I'm done with this," or was it smoke still coming out of it? Like already the plans are percolating for whatever this happens to be.
Well, when I first seized the motor up, and I was actually at an autocross out at Front Range Airport, I was kind of at a point in my life where I needed like a project or something to kind of like really drive myself with, and my dad's a car guy, and he at the time didn't have any toys or anything, but he always had Jaguars and MGs and Triumphs and stuff when
so
he was
always
younger.
had problems.
pretty much, yeah. But a huge thanks to him. But he encouraged me and said like, hey, well, we can rebuild this, and that's not something when it's your first sports car, and I'd never pulled the motor out or anything before. Then. He was like, yeah, well, I can help you. Like, let's get some parts and let's do it.
Right.
And so then I started reading and researching more, and got the parts and started just going to town with it.
Nice.
I mean, it's not like it's going to get better on its own, right?
Yeah.
The motor's already seized.
Yeah.
I think like there's two things that kind of broke down my initial fear of like getting into working on cars myself. It was that it's not going to get better on its own, right?
Right.
And also, it's all just bolts. Like, it's all just bolts. At the end of the day, really.
Some of those bolts are pretty important, though.
They are important, and some are really hard to get to. But at the end of the day, a threaded thing goes into a thing, and you torque it, and you call it a day,
Yeah, I think that's one thing that a lot of people who don't work on cars, like, it's all, like, black magic. Like, I don't want to work on my brakes. And it's like, well, no, just slow down a little bit. It's actually a really simple system.
Right.
You just have to take the time to, kind of work your brain through it and understand what's going on, and then none of it's actually that bad.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just there's so many of those systems on top of one another.
And it feels so high consequence. Like,
right.
It feels like you're going to die and blow up and catch on fire and kill the entire town. And it's a car. It's not that,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I definitely have. I mean, I still have that where I'm working on my car. And I remember a few years ago, I lost the alternator on my car. And it's buried in the front, and you have to do what they call Volkswagen service position, which isn't just grabbing your ankles. It's also you have to take the whole front of the car off. And I was freaked out about that because you have to do all of this stuff just to get to the alternator.
Right.
And like I know how an alternator works, and I know how all of these other little systems work, but like thinking about them all together becomes really daunting, right?
Yeah.
And then I luckily had a friend who was an ex-mechanic, and he would just kind of ripping stuff apart. Just like, go slower.
You need someone like that to kind of show you that it doesn't have to be a crazy, stressful experience.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Break the seal. Break the seal. Yeah.
And then, of course, we had like, 3 days of getting the wrong part in, but that's to do with my car, not.
Yeah. R32-itis.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. So I do want to talk about something that we talk about on the show a lot, which is, you're leading Denver auto enthusiasts. And so you're like kind of a self-appointed moderator of sorts of internet car culture, which can be like both really, really beautiful and also kind of challenging, I'll say.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like when the internet identifies a hit and run car in a matter of minutes from like a fragment of headlight on Jalopnik, right? That's a fantastic moment.
Right, yeah.
You know?
And also just like from I think the education piece of it, like I wouldn't have known what donks were all about were it not for the internet. Like bringing like different elements of car culture together, I think is a really cool thing of it too. But so what's been like the most, I guess, surprising thing to you about running a group like this? Like, has it been? I'm guessing it's been an overwhelming positive experience because you're still doing it,
Right?
Yeah.
But you know, positive or negative, what's been kind of the most surprising thing to you that you wouldn't have thought when you started?
Well, let's go with a positive thing. But probably what stands out to me the most is how many friendships we've created.
Okay.
And like how many people like, you know, make connections and have gone on to work together, or, you know, hang out together, you know, just like we've connected so many people.
Right.
And I think that's just it's really cool for me and Danny to like look back and think about how much of that like we were behind.
Yeah.
You know, just by setting up the group and getting people together on drives.
Right.
And, you know.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome.
It's really cool.
I mean, Ian and I met over cars, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. We were set up on an adult play date because, you know, my husband likes cars. My ex-wife was like, you know.
I think it was more like both of our wives kind of complaining about our dumb cars, you know, probably because they're both. My car, I think, had quite recently been broken.
Oh, and so I'm sure my ex was always complaining about mine, you know, but hey, you know, so they just put us in a room together. But but it's a super uniting force, right?
Yeah.
You know, I think that like emotionally we go through a lot of the same cycles together as like people that modify and work on cars and just are generally part of the community. Like, you know, we all get to a point where like, you know, we rage fix a water pump, you know, at like 2 a.m., you know, or, you know, like somebody has like a crazy clutch moment where like at, you know, serendipity aligned and they got like the transmission bell housing on them, like just one instant pull, you know, like, and people like recognize how, like your fellow enthusiasts recognize how important those like little special moments are. Where somebody outside like, oh, okay, good, I guess, you know? Yeah. So as you've seen the community grow, like what has been your role like day to day? Like what does that kind of look like?
As it's grown, it's both required more moderation and more stepping in on our part because, you know, you get a lot of assholes. You know, if we're going to be honest, it's the internet. When it gets big, you're going to get someone coming out and just being a dick for no reason. But it's also at the same time, it's also more self-sustaining in the sense that there's more people to produce more content just naturally on the group.
Right.
So people are asking questions, people are sharing relevant experiences or, you know, knowledge and so little kind of in both directions.
Right. Do you have a lot of folks that are outside of Denver that are part of the group, or is it heavily concentrated?
I mean,
we've
even chatted about like renaming it Colorado Auto Enthusiasts.
Sure.
But we don't want to do that.
Okay.
But our members, by and large, are Colorado, and a lot of them are in the Springs. A lot of them are up in like Fort Collins, and everywhere in between. We got people out in the Western Slope.
Okay. Have you noticed like a difference in like the cultures in like the regions of Colorado? Because like Colorado Springs just seems weird to me. Yeah,
they got a lot of car people down there.
Yeah,
they really do.
Yeah,
and no one's posting, like there's no tag on, you know, when someone posts about like where they are.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't look at the post and I can't discern any differences. I'm not clicking on everyone's profile to see exactly where they live.
Yeah.
Anywhere there's a military base, there is someone spending every cent they have on their car.
Yep.
Because that's what kids in the military do.
Camaros and Mustangs.
Yep. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the one kid who's like into Euro stuff. Like I had when I was in the military, I had a friend, and this is kind of dating myself. This was like 15 years ago. There was a guy who had a B4 or B5 S4, the 2001, like the twin turbo one.
I think everyone in the military at that time had like they were either that guy or there was one guy 1 degree away from them.
Right. Yeah. There was like 8 guys in my squadron who had Mustangs that were modified, and then there was the one guy with the S4, and it went terribly, terribly, terribly financially wrong for him.
As S4s are prone to do.
Right, because he's a poor kid in the military, and he, of course, like whacked up the boost to like 19 pounds or something like that, and it blew up on him like almost immediately. It was pretty spectacular. But yeah, so there's always that doesn't surprise me. There's people down in the Springs who are coming up, you know.
Yeah.
Well, it's like cars. United has like cars are an exciting thing, and when you're out of the military, you want something to think about, or maybe even order some parts for, and and look forward to coming back to, and going out and driving.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I understand why a lot of military people are into cars.
For sure.
Yeah, it's also a thing of like getting off base. Like it's you're almost back in that like teenager mindset of like being in your parents' house and needing to escape.
Yeah. That's a good
so
point.
like getting off base can be, and this was like back in the days before Uber and stuff, and even still now, like you can't just call an Uber to come on base and pick you up.
Right.
So you have to have a car, and it's a little piece of like, this is something that I control, and nothing else in your life is like that.
Right.
So it becomes a really important thing.
Finally getting a bicycle when you were a kid. Like,
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Endless freedom.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm making this wind in my hair happen.
That's a really good point, Ian.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's why so many young enlisted people do that, because they're told what to do every moment of their lives except for then. Right.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So what do you got? What else you got for him, Ian?
Well, I want to do an FMK cars.
Okay.
We have a few of these. And what do we have to say about FMK cars, Dave?
FMK Cars is a game that Ian and Dave play on the TeamClearCoat podcast. It's based on the classic game Fuck, Marry, Kill, but instead of playing it with people, we play it with cars because we're not awful assholes. Ian, we're going to give Nick here, we're going to give him 3 cars.
3. Quantity 3.
Trace. 1, you get to F, that means you drive it for a day. M, marry, that's your daily driver. K, you kill it. Send it to the crusher.
Correct.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dave, for that lovely
You're
intro.
welcome.
So we're going to do, this one is called, I've been on this godforsaken internet for 30 long years, and all I have to show for it is $5,000 and a desire for more pain. So these are cars.
Ian likes to write titles. For
I like
these.
to write long titles for no reason. These are cars that are at least 30 years old for sale on Facebook in Denver right now for less than $5,000.
All right, let's do it.
All right?
Yeah.
So these were like on the front page. I set $5,000, max age 1989, and that's it.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
This is the first one, Ian.
Yep. Okay, so we're going to go 1976 Toyota Land Cruiser.
Ooh.
It runs and drives. Let me see what else it
That
says.
patina is perfect.
Right?
I just want to clear coat that.
Right? And there's more pictures, so we can go through it.
Yeah.
They only want $2,500 for it, sir.
Wow.
And it's got a manual. It says 100,000 miles, runs and drives great, no trades.
Oh, look! I love
Must
this.
sell.
When they put the screenshot of the car in the posting.
Right.
Yeah, they need to charge their phone. They need to take it off Do Not Disturb mode because otherwise they're not going to get the notifications that someone wants to buy their car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're here to help.
Yeah.
All right. The second one is a 1982 Mercury Capri.
Ooh.
And this is also it's a Black Magic Capri, which was like a dealer. It was like a special trim level that they had in the early 80s. So obviously this is a Fox Body Mustang, but it's the Mercury version. This does not I believe it does not have an engine. It does not run and drive, but it's rust free. He only wants $1,000 for it. And it is apparently one of these Black Magic trim ones.
I didn't notice the flames until we got to like the fourth picture.
Is that what the Black Magic is?
No, so it was repainted at some point.
Okay.
The Black Magic trim was like black and gold. It almost looks like
a John Player, like
kind of like or like the Screaming Chicken sort of colors,
like almost like Hertz Mustang kind of.
Let me pull it up for you.
I want to see what this originally looks like.
Just look up Mercury Capri Black Magic and see if you can find it. I think they'll pull up.
Yeah, it looks
Right?
a lot like the Hertz Mustang. Yeah, look at that.
That is very 80s.
Yeah, right.
I
mean,
all the
super,
80s.
right?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
It's the most
But
80s.
Burt Reynolds should be driving this car.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, you get in that and a mustache just shows up.
Yeah.
Big old fat porn stash.
Yes.
And you should also know that there is a very long description of like the trials and tribulations
Yeah.
that he's gone through.
Sometimes some information is too much information.
Correct.
Yeah.
And he's claiming that it's going to increase in value. So that's always a red flag, I feel
I
like.
love that.
Yeah.
Look at
Yeah.
that upholstery. They even took the black and gold inside.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool project, but it's obviously a project.
It's a project.
All right, so the third one is a different project. This is a 1989 Nissan 240SX with a V8 that obviously some drift kid has done.
Yeah.
Now the question is, has this drift kid done this properly or not? And is it worth $4,000?
That's for Nick to sort
Oh,
out.
4,000. I didn't even look at the price on this one.
So whoever did this has the engine from the M45 before mine, maybe the Q45.
Okay.
So
Keeping it in the family.
Yeah. So this is one of the gentleman's agreement V8s from Nissan. So they said 278, but people said maybe 310. You know?
right.
Yeah. Yeah. What a weird era. I was trying to explain that to my wife the other day, and it's just when you talk about that era out loud, you also hear it, and it's like that was insane. Yeah.
Well, like explaining the chicken tax to a non-car enthusiast, like why the chicken tax means we can't have small pickup trucks,
Yeah,
and
Nissan
why
hard body pickups anymore,
and why anybody cares about that is like a really hard thing to explain to people.
Huh. So Drift Kid.
I love expect rust.
No, question for you guys. You know, this is your FMK game.
Yeah.
So that Capri has no motor.
Right.
Is it possible to fuck the Capri?
Let's say that you have the resources to like put an engine in it for a day, but you have to put the engine in it that day and make it drive.
Yeah.
Well,
like already trying to find loopholes, you're going to fit in fine here.
Yep. You're doing well.
And I think it has the engine. I think it's a swap. It's not the original engine, but it's not running.
yeah.
Oh, I like this. The floor also has a rusted area under the passenger foot area where the heater core leaked on the floor. That means you could Flintstone it if your brakes fail. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I a long time ago, I had a buddy of mine that bought an old Camaro SS, like 60s ish, right? And he pulled up the back floor mats before. After he purchased it and brought it to his house, and there were welded old license plates for the floor.
Awesome.
Yeah, to fill the rust holes. Yeah, great.
That's what you want to see.
Good thing to find.
All right, so we got a Land Cruiser, which is running and driving, ready to go. You've got a Mercury Capri, which is not running or driving, and you've got a 240SX, which is allegedly running and driving.
Ooh, I think I have an answer. Yeah.
Did you show the engine bay of the 240?
Not yet.
It's actually
We're going deep on
pretty
Capri
cool.
pictures here. Yeah. Okay, here. We'll look at the engine bay on this. Also with the phone screenshots. Love it.
Because I have a dumb question about it when it comes up.
Oh, the Crown Royal shift boot.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
Why?
That's like a photo of a screen of like an Instagram shot.
Yes. Yeah. 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 And like somebody took it like this, taking a picture of the device.
But also that intake manifold is like...
That's how it was on those Nissan V8s. Yeah. It looks like it's
a transverse engine.
But it's not?
Yeah. No, it's not.
Weird.
Yeah. This is Nissan.
That's super
during that
weird.
time.
That's super weird.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
See, the Nissan's the interesting one for me because I'm familiar with the Japanese cars and it's a rear-wheel drive. It's a good chassis. There's a reason all the drift kids like them. You can actually do cool stuff with them, and it's got the V8.
Yeah,
which makes it real interesting. However, it almost looks like it needs to be put out of its misery or like substantial steps taken to clean her up to bring home to mom.
Right.
So I think I'm gonna have to say I think I'm gonna have to marry the Land Cruiser.
Okay. All right.
Because that's, I mean, it's a Land Cruiser.
Right.
You know, it's
If you're doing shuttling mountain bike runs, you guys are
yeah.
going to fight over who gets to do the shuttling for the next run,
Yeah.
right?
I would also say that of the three, like as an investment potential, that is probably the best one, right?
Yeah.
Like to like the money that you put into restoring this, you'll actually get back.
Yeah, dude.
Whereas the other two, not as much.
Oh yeah, you're not making money on the Capri, and you're not making money on the 240. The 240 feels about $2,000 overpriced to me.
Yes. Yeah.
So now the question is, you know, who do I kill?
Yeah.
Right. Right. The face of those Land Cruisers is so adorable.
It is. It's great.
So much. Yeah.
You know, despite the Burt Reynolds fantasies and all that, and the, you know, wanting to relive the 80s glory days, I think I'm going to have to fuck the Nissan and kill the Capri.
Okay.
Because, you know, it's a V8 and a Japanese rear-wheel drive car.
Right.
You know, you can't
I
really...
think you made a good decision.
That's a party right there.
Yeah,
I
right?
agree.
Worst case scenario, you're having a lot of fun.
That's what you want on those one-night stands.
Yeah, or having a really strange conversation with the tow truck driver. But either way, you're going to meet a friend. Worst case scenario.
Yep, you got a new buddy. What would you do, Ian? Because my answer is solid.
I think I might marry the 240.
Okay.
Because I'm an idiot.
Thought about that.
And then I think I would drive the Land Cruiser for a day.
Okay.
And go hiking and stuff with it.
I based my decision solely off one picture. And it is, we're going to get to it. I'm marrying the Capri.
Okay. That's not surprising to me.
Because of one specific picture that we're going to get to. It's of some parts from the interior that this person has managed to save.
If only
there was a gallery. This right here, the floor mats.
That's awesome.
They look like the Thundercats logo. So I would marry this, and I would make a Thundercats themed donk out of the Capri.
Oh man, people would be upset with you.
Yes,
that'd be
they
so
would.
sick.
And I would do Snarf as the only Thundercat on it. That's it. No other Thundercats. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I think everyone did well.
Yeah. And I think I would have to F the Land Cruiser. Yeah.
So you would crush the 240,
I think I would.
even though it's got your family engine in it.
I know. I get to live with that every day. But look at the adorable face on that thing. And
Yeah, that's true.
my favorite color is green. Like a patinaed green like that is perfect. Like
Yeah.
I want everything I own to look like that.
That thing is fantastic, and honestly, $2,500 for that is a pretty good
We
deal.
could talk
honestly.
down to
The
two.
question is how much you can see through the frame rails and all
Yeah.
that.
Right? Yeah, that's true.
I can see through parts of the body right there.
Yeah. I'm wondering if this stick on the ground is stuck in the car and just poking out. Or, yeah. I also like any car where your crumple zone is the leaf springs on the front.
That's what you want. That's safety.
Yeah.
But just put a big steel bumper on it.
Yeah. So I have another FMK cars.
Okay.
Let's see here. So this one is called Mods. Okay, so in this scenario, you don't get a car. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But you have to pick between 3 different forums to moderate. Okay,
Oh.
on the internet. Okay. The first one is I googled donk forums and it delivered. Donk forums.
Oh.
You get to mod donk forums. So, I mean, you know, donks unfairly have a lot of like dog whistle racist shit thrown against them.
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that. So you're just kind of keeping all those assholes away.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Yeah, you are literally clobbering the haters. Right?
Okay.
There's one user online right now.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Okay. Second one, VW Vortex. You're not necessarily a mod. You're actually their server engineer. And as you can imagine, there's going to be some electrical issues with the data center. So I don't know how you are, you know, with server infrastructure, but
I suspect both of you guys would be better at that than me. But
Sparky's going to get you.
That's the thing is like when Volkswagen people are waving at each other, people think they're saying hi. Really, they're just signaling how many fuses they need at that moment.
Yeah, 220 amp.
System.
Yeah. And then lastly, you're going to moderate. I didn't Google to see if this is a real thing, but I hope it is. A Nissan Murano Cross Cabriolet forum. You are a mental health professional.
Are you pro cross cabriolet?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. What's
Glorious.
wrong with you?
I don't know, maybe you could send our show here to a therapist afterwards. they could clue us in. I have no idea.
No, I think I'm happy that they exist in the world just because they're so
Absolutely.
bonkers.
We've talked about on the show what it would be like to drive one or to have that be your car, because you would be in a situation where you had a car that tons of people were taking pictures of, but you might not know why.
Are you guys on the Nissan Murano Facebook group?
No.
Oh, you need to get on that.
Do we need to get in that?
You need to
Why?
get on
Tell
that.
us. Is there just like contention between the?
No, it is pure unadulterated support. And
Really?
love and fascination.
Like the Prius forums.
I think Danny actually created it.
Okay.
It's, yeah. And you can't tell who's in there as a joke. You can't tell who's in there because they love the cars.
Okay.
It is complete and utter just
That's amazing.
Adoration of the Nissan Murano Cross Cabriolet.
That's amazing.
That's so funny. Because I don't think I wouldn't say that I dislike the car.
Right.
It's just like it's such like a fascinating object, like that it's still every time I see one, it surprises me that it exists.
Right.
You know?
It's surprising that Nissan took the risk to even make something like
Yeah,
that. How
right,
ridiculous
right.
of a vehicle is that?
Right, exactly. And it's surprising every time I see one. And yeah, we talk about like how oblivious the people who, because the target market for that is not enthusiasts.
It's like 60-year-old women.
Right.
Yeah.
So like they must be like, someone took a picture of my car again today, and I don't understand why. It's like that Patton Oswalt.
Mm-hmm.
Patton Oswalt has a bit about he wants to be the only the first person to visit the PBR factory unironically, like that sort of thing.
Like you legitimately like the beer, so
Yeah.
you want to see where it comes from.
Exactly.
You're asking honest and thoughtful questions.
Right.
Huh. So the Nissan Murano Cross Cabriolet, you're perfectly right in saying that it's crazy that Nissan of all people took that risk. Because like with the Range Rover Evoque
Yeah.
convertible, it's just like, okay, that's Range Rover.
Yeah,
They're just
yeah.
doing weird stuff, right? And I mean, they're not known for being weird, but it's like, that's a lateral move for them. But with Nissan, it's like, okay, the next weirdest thing you've made recently is the Ultima Coupe, maybe? Right?
And this really stands out in Nissan's historic lineup.
Yeah.
In terms of just pure weirdness.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
And I would love to put a GTR drivetrain in one.
Yes. Take it to Time Attack.
It would just break in half.
Do a little tube frame action under the body panels there.
Yeah.
You can make it work.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what was it? Was Donk Forums.
Yep.
VW Vortex.
Yep.
Man, I have spent so much time on VW Vortex and the Nissan Cross Cabriolet forum.
I'm going to fuck the Donk, kill the Volkswagens, and marry the Nissan.
Okay.
You've made the correct decision.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I think you've made exactly the correct
Well,
decision.
I would probably marry the Donk Forums myself. Yeah.
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 Yeah, I don't know. I think it'd be a weird. I gotta imagine the Donk Forums. There's got to be a lot of questions about
Can we just click in and see what the threads are looking like?
I tried. I have to create an account.
create an account.
I don't want to do it on the show. I should have done it beforehand.
You should have. But I would guess that like the top, like one of the top like problems would be like probably a lot of discussion about tires, right?
Yeah,
Like
and steering knuckles breaking.
steering knuckles
Yeah.
breaking.
There's
front
got to
end.
be like, what, at 2 tires max that fit on Donks?
I don't know.
I think Pirelli makes the Donk tire.
I have no idea. This is great. These are great questions.
Yeah.
This is why we need an account on the Donk forum, Dave.
I'm sure they're all running the same tire.
Right. Yeah.
What if they're not? And what if like
What if the market is hot for Donk tires?
right? What if there's like a lot of R&D and like competition between like Michelin and Pirelli. There's like an unspoken war for the donk market.
That would be awesome. The donk market deserves it. I'll tell you that.
Like top secret, like tire compound testing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Codename Fruit Loops.
We call these tires liquid swords. Yes.
It's got to be a lot of like aesthetic and like detail stuff.
Yeah.
It's got to be all about like, finding cool wheels and polishing it up and how to do like the sickest paint jobs and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
How to actually fit the crazy lift kit on there. Right. Yeah.
I think we're fascinated with donks because I think part of it is like it's like the id of like the car enthusiast, right? Because it's just like all about just joy, right?
Yeah.
There's like it's just about like having fun, and there's no like sense of competition or anything like that. It's just like, this is a hilarious thing I'm going to do with my car, and I'm going to make the world better.
It makes me happy every time I see one. It's like when you see the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like your day's just better when you see a donk.
Yeah, I agree.
Nice. I'm kicking myself. I should have created an account on the donk.
I know.
Forums. All right, talk to Nick for a while. Register now. I agree. Ian, do we agree?
Well, you don't need to show the people.
I agree to these terms.
Let's play another one. I have one from a while back that was also a forum-based one.
TeamClearCoat is our username.
Perfect.
Probably fits in okay on a donk forum.
Yeah.
Okay. So this one's called LOL. There's a search function on this forum, brah. Car forums and the douchebags who live there. So this is another one where you're going to be involved in a car forum, but you're going to be a member and you get a car. Okay. So, and VW Vortex makes another appearance because, again, I spent so much time here. The genesis of this one was I travel for work a lot, and I was in an Uber or a Lyft or whatever on the way back from the Denver airport back to home. And it had been a long day. It was like 10 o'clock at night, and I get in the back of this Prius, and before we get to the end of the pickup lane, I know that one of the rear wheel bearings is like done. Like done, completely done. And so now I'm like going through this like the internal calculus of, do I say something to this person? Does he know what's wrong with the car? Am I being irresponsible to the next person by not telling him that his wheel's about to fall off? Or do I really just want to go home and not risk him getting angry with me and kicking me out of his car, sort of thing? So of course I do what any rational person does, and I just start searching wheel bearing on the Prius forums to see like, what it takes to actually change a wheel bearing. Like I'm curious, like I don't want to like hand this guy like a $500 problem. So I look at the forums, and the thing that immediately jumps out to me is that the Prius forums are like a Shangri-La on the internet. Like it's the nicest place on the internet I've ever seen. Like someone asked a question and the next 3 responses were just the answer to that question. Like, there wasn't even.
Have you tried the search?
Right. There wasn't any of that bullshit.
Are they just happy people are like participating, or?
No, it was just like, hey, buddy, glad you're here. Let me see if I can help you out. Like, like just genuinely delightful place on the internet, and it's so rare to find that. Yeah, you know what I mean. So that's what inspired this FMK cars. So the first one is you get a VW Jetta GLI. You can have whichever generation of GLI you want, and you are the actually guy on VW Vortex, especially when you don't know what you're talking about. Your license plate also says actually. Yeah. You say well actually quite a lot.
There's always 1 or 30 of those folks around.
It's like the mansplainer.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. The next one.
We started to apologize to you yet while we're on the show? Because we should have. That's how we should open our show. We need to open our interviews with apologies, Ian.
Thank you for being here. Sorry.
Yeah.
The next one is also inspired by like a bit of an internet meme that was going around a long time ago. So you get a BMW M4. You are the excuses guy. No matter what happens in your life, you have some crazy, implausible explanation for it. Obviously, it's never your fault. And it was inspired by the guy who, remember at a Cars and Coffee, like launched his car over a median. And
is
then
that like half PSI off?
half PSI off.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So the last one, you get a Toyota Prius C. You are well-adjusted, nice, and helpful. You answer people's questions with respect. However, you have to stop and help everyone you see on the side of the road, and every panhandler gets $1.
Well, admittedly, I do stop and help people. I've pulled so many people out of ditches. I've stopped for motorcycles that were on the side of the road and just to make sure they're all right.
Sure.
So, just based on my own history, I'm probably gonna have to marry the life of the perpetually helpful Prius driver.
And then you're just going to have to start Googling like electrical engineer forums on how to like get a crazy amount of juice out of the battery pack.
Actually, it's funny
Tesla
enough. I
battery swap.
actually ended up on a Prius forum not long ago because I was Googling like if people have turbocharged them.
That's if you haven't thought about writing an autobiography, that's how you need to open the book. Yeah. Okay, so people turbo their Priuses.
No, someone was asking about it, and then a whole bunch of people in the Prius forum were either giving bad information about turbocharging in general, or saying that it's not possible. I did see a video. One of the car YouTuber guys, I don't remember if it was Hoovy or one of those guys, put their Prius on the bottle and actually immediately blew the motor.
Oh wow!
Like a second later, I don't even think it accelerated before it popped.
Oh my god!
Whoa. Okay.
I would feel like that would be a bad idea, right? Because are there? I don't even know. Are those like wet clutches between?
To be honest,
I
don't know anything.
It's
about
just a
mechanics for
CVT,
Prius.
right? Yeah.
Well, but all that stuff has got to get joined together at
Somehow,
some point. So there's got to be clutch packs or something like that in there.
Well, I think there's a reason only one person did it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Actually,
okay.
Oh, sorry. You make me think about all these crazy Prius projects that I've seen. There was a guy doing a twin turbo LSX Prius. Years ago.
Okay.
And I don't remember what happened to it, but he had actually chopped the stock wheels and widened them to be like 12 inches wide and then cut them in so it looked like a stock Prius.
Oh, that's fantastic.
God, yes.
And I actually have a little dream because down at Pikes Peak International Raceway where I race, for a long time they had a whole bunch of the Volkswagen buyback diesels.
Oh, yeah.
And I always thought the best project ever would be to buy one of those, put the entire drivetrain into a Prius and do a hood dump exhaust.
Yeah. Yes.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
That'd be fantastic.
Let's hang on.
But anyway, I'm marrying the Prius for him.
Marry the Prius.
I'm done registering for the Dunk Forum. I'm starting a GoFundMe page right now. the Prius TDI project.
Yeah. That's fantastic.
Okay, so you're marrying the Prius Forum.
All right, so then are you going to be the well actually guy or are you going to be the excuses guy? So GLI actually, BMW M4 excuses.
I mean, I would rather drive an M4 and have excuses than a GLI.
Yeah, I think you're right. And no one likes that well actually guy.
Right?
No.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Nobody said, well, actually, and people were like, oh, someone has an idea. We're listening.
I'm killing the actually persona.
Yeah.
Fucking the excuses and marrying the epitomately or perpetually helpful Prius.
I like that. I like that.
Very, very well answered. Good job.
Ian, you looked at me when he said he was marrying the Prius.
No, the helping people on the side of the road thing. I forgot. I had a story about that I meant to tell on the show, and I totally forgot. So I'll tell it now. So a couple of weeks ago, I was on Lincoln, heading north into downtown, and it was bumper to bumper, stop and go kind of traffic. And there was a guy on the side of the road with a kind of a ratty 240 240Z.
Okay.
Like a older one, right?
Yeah.
And he was outside the car, kind of pacing around, and he had the look on his face of my car is broken. Like we all know
We all
the look.
get it.
This sunken look.
Right. But he was also yelling at traffic. Literally yelling at yelling into the void of the traffic going by him. And I was like, man,
I want to get involved in
this could go one of two ways. So I went around the block and I came up behind him. And
I'm glad to know you weren't stabbed by a crazy person. But go on.
spoiler alert, I'm not dead.
Yeah.
So I walk up to him and I was like, hey, I know unreliable cars when I see them or whatever. I basically said like, I know what's happening here.
Yeah.
Do you need help? And he just goes, I need these fuckers to get out of my city. These are all tourists. They're not from here. My car's overheated because there's too many people. And I was like, okay, man. Well, good luck with that. And then I just got back in my car and left. And so like there's the bus lane there, right? And that's where he was broken down. And so like I get back in my car and I'm like, man, I would have like helped push him to a side street or whatever. But like he was just like not he was not in a headspace for that.
Yeah.
And so then he didn't see, I don't think he saw what car I was in. So I get going, and then like about a half a block later, maybe a couple minutes later, he comes roaring past, leaning his head out the window and going, fuckers! And then screeched to a halt behind a parked car and then turned off his car to let it cool off again.
Yes.
So he was just doing like 10 tenths for half a block at a time and yelling and then parking. That was how that's what his commute was that day.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's tourists that are doing that to him.
I know. I was like, you probably have a better chance of solving your cooling issues than solving Denver's infrastructure issues. Those are two very different sizes of problem.
Yeah.
That comes up almost daily on Denver Auto Enthusiasts. Someone going transplant this or transplant that, or Californians or Texans or any of the other states that everyone blames on Colorado's congestion.
Sure.
Right.
Oh my God. It's so frustrating.
Okay.
Our entire admin team, everyone running Denver Auto Enthusiasts, because we got myself, Danny, Eric, and then as a moderator, we got David. We're all transplants.
Okay.
So
yeah, we're transplants as well.
So is everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Yeah.
I mean, in best case, like someone's family moved here in like the 1900s or not like everybody's a transplant. You're in a frontier town. Like it's not that big of a deal.
Right. Yeah.
Whatever.
It's so frustrating. Huge admin headache there.
Okay.
I'm sure.
Okay. Yeah. I do remember when Denver traffic just like went over a cliff for me, and it was like a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
I've been here since 2000. I've seen a lot of changes, which it's crazy to think that that's like almost 20 years now. Yeah. Right. But I like my commute from the hospital I usually work at is 4 miles. And so it's like 10 minutes to drive home. Right. And it started routinely taking 20. And it was just like, it just seemed like a switch. It was just fluid dynamics. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's about the time when I just start riding a bike to work.
Yeah.
4 miles.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny too. That's one of the other things that we always talk about in the show is how, some of those things that are just in the larger culture, do affect car culture and kind of vice versa, right?
Yeah.
So it's always interesting to hear when those two things kind of collide and like the efforts to keep them separate and you can't really, and all of that is interesting to us, I think.
Denver's lack of public transportation directly caused that asshole's Nissan to overheat.
Well, I wouldn't say directly.
I know.
But that's an interesting point too. Of like
they're linked.
I think car enthusiasts sometimes resist, efforts to get people out of their cars, but really people are trying to get people out of their commutes, right? And that's not what your cruises are about, right? Like nobody's saying like you should take the bus instead of going on a cruise. Like that's a ridiculous thing to say.
I remember actually early when we started doing it, we had someone on Reddit, and it's Reddit, so anyone can get on anywhere, and no one has to request to join a subreddit.
Sure.
But they commented on one of our posts about a cruise, like, I don't get why you guys are doing this. It just seems so wasteful. And it's like, what? We're just driving cars.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They just went on a tirade about
carbon footprints.
Like, why can't you guys just take the bus to meet together somewhere and talk about cars? And it's like,
oh boy.
Right.
Yeah.
Someone on the internet has an opinion. Yeah.
Right. Well, that's something I struggle with too, because I'm generally pretty on that side of like, let's reduce.
Yeah.
Recycle
and all
that sort of stuff. But like, you know, the recreational use of cars is really not an issue as far as like carbon footprint is concerned.
It's such a small little portion of it.
It's so tiny compared to sitting in your car for 45 minutes each way every day, idling. That's like way more impactful than a weekly, 40-mile journey or whatever
exactly.
it is, right?
Race my car once a month or something.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Let's go out on an up note.
Okay.
I have one more FMK cars for you, Nick.
Sounds great.
This one, it's just happy stuff.
Just happy stuff. All right, I like this.
So this one is called Everything's Better with Boost. Some often overlooked and fantastic turbocharged cars.
Oh, I'm excited.
Okay. So these are things that I feel like, we all know them, but I like these. Okay, first up, I'm going to give them to you in order of years. So we're going to go 1988, Isuzu, Impulse.
Yes.
Turbo.
Don't forget to show the people.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Ian.
No problem.
Okay. So they did a facelift to the Impulse, and I actually like the pre-facelift better.
Right? It almost looks like
Of course, you would select the brown one.
Yeah. Yeah. Look at that. Wait, you were saying it almost looks like...
It almost looks like I want to say like an old Maserati or something, like in the bottom end of their styling.
Like you mash a Volkswagen Corrado and a Maserati bi-turbo together, and that's kind of what you get. Yeah. Right?
Okay.
Right?
Is that rear wheel drive?
I think it's front.
Okay.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so. Let's go back to Wikipedia. Front
rear.
Front rear. There we go. Hey, all right. Okay.
Yeah, it has the dimensions of a front rear.
Yeah.
Got almost like a little Audi S4 old Audi Quattro line too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know this existed.
Oh, yeah. I went on like a deep dive on Isuzu a while ago, and they have some bonkers concept cars.
Yeah, they really, really do. Yeah, go home and Google Isuzu concept cars.
Yeah,
it's a whole rabbit hole.
I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, 1989 is your next one. Pontiac Trans Am Turbo. Okay,
Was this one with a smaller motor?
Let's find out.
What actual motor was in these?
This is. Let's see. So they were abbreviated as TTAs, Turbo Trans Ams. Right here.
Ooh, there's the official pace car.
Yeah. Let's see. I can't remember if
it's a V6.
Yeah,
Four-seat auto. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Is it? Was that the?
GNX.
Is that? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The
Yep.
GNX one.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
I think that's pretty rad.
That is pretty rad.
Then lastly, I'm going to give you 1990 because we're counting up the years here. Mitsubishi. What's it going to be, Ian?
Starion?
Yep.
Yeah.
Have you ever known anybody that had one?
I haven't, but I've always really enjoyed the aesthetics of the Starion.
Right. Yeah.
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 They're super cool.
What was the Chrysler equivalent
I love
called?
the boxy fender.
Oh,
footers.
yeah.
It's such a good look.
Yeah.
What was the Chrysler called? Conquest.
Conquest. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I love the way those look.
Yeah.
Yeah,
super cool.
I already had a sweet spot for these.
Okay.
So I think that makes my Mary choice pretty easy.
Okay. All right.
But before you'd shown this one, I was kind of thinking the Isuzu would be the Mary, just because it's weird and I like the aesthetics.
Right.
Yeah.
And the Pontiac, I'm gonna have to fuck that one because that one is just such a unique.
Right.
I feel like the Pontiac though is of the three of them probably the most tunable, right? Because it's the GNX engine.
That's true.
Right, so you've got the most like aftermarket support. What is that steering wheel?
Look at that steering wheel.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Wow, I wonder what this went for on auction.
It should say at the top.
Let's find out. 31,000.
That means it didn't sell.
Okay.
Wow. Bid two, it didn't sell.
Yeah.
Wow. Amazing. That steering wheel's insane.
Yeah. The 80s, man.
Wait, is there a close up of that steering wheel? Like what are the buttons on it?
Yeah, let's find out. Yeah. Turbo, Trans Am.
So what would you do, Dave? I think I would marry the Isuzu.
Yeah. I would definitely marry the Isuzu.
And F the Trans Am.
And
Wow, look at that.
I would F the Starion. Yeah, let's see.
Is that volume? It says volume up and down.
Zoom and enhance. Yeah, we're on
Enhance.
carsandracingstuff.com.
There you
Oh,
go.
there you go. Yeah.
Yeah. View image.
Zoom.
Zoom.
Control scroll.
Yeah. Let's make it. Yeah. Now we just pixelated.
Looks terrible.
Oh man, remember when all car stereos had like the three little equalizers?
Yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Man, that is so 80s.
Right?
4-spoke steering wheels, man.
Oh, look at the grid.
Yeah. The
grid
graph
and-
paper on the gauges. Yeah. Oh, it comes with the Hot Wheels.
Oh, nice.
It comes with the Hot Wheels.
My toy car, my real car.
Yep.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I still stand by. I got to marry the Starion just because I've always thought they looked so badass.
Yeah.
Oh, there you
Here
go.
we go. Yeah.
It's all stereo
It's all stereo
controls.
That's awesome.
Why do you need the fade on the steering wheel?
People,
How often are you adjusting the fade in a 2-seater?
Right.
I mean, essentially.
Right. Yeah.
I guess it's a 4-seater, but whatever.
Yeah.
Still.
I think they were like, well, we need a button in the middle.
The mute button on the steering wheel, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
That is.
That's a good idea. The seek button on the steering wheel, not so great.
Yeah.
That you could do away with all of those in the middle.
So I had the steering wheel controls on the Infiniti, and the one of them. Well, I've put the special Bluetooth adapter in line to the satellite radio because it's from that era before you could pair your Bluetooth phone to do audio. You could just do calls, right?
Right.
Yeah.
2006, man. It was a weird time for all of
My
us.
brother has an M35X of that generation.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Yeah. So the radio preset has to be on a very specific thing, and it's kind of a pain to get back to it if you accidentally hit a button. And the button for the Seek, like to change the track, like will change the input or the radio channel or something,
right.
and like. Yeah. So like I will be mid-turn and my thumb will brush that button.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
And it's all gone to
So
shit.
now I turn the steering wheel just with the tips of my fingers. Yeah.
I was in a Fusion hybrid rental car the other week,
Okay.
and I think it was the stereo buttons are sometimes stereo buttons and sometimes controlling the
Infotainment stuff.
like the dash info on the because there's 2 screens on the dash.
Yep.
I hate that.
It's like make the button do one thing
Yeah.
all the time.
All the time, please.
Especially if it's on the steering wheel.
Yeah.
You know, if it's
Right.
someplace else, maybe, but
Yeah.
man, steering wheel buttons drive me nuts.
Yeah.
Well, I think you chose well.
I agree.
Yeah. That's for sure.
The Starion is like just so cool.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. And of course, you get black louvers for the back end as well if you'd like.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Nice. Well, we really appreciate you coming on the show. Thank you for karting with us. You're fast. Yeah. You are quick.
It helps that I'm skinny.
Yeah.
I'm light on,
We want to do more karting with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll try to make it out to one of the Wednesday night cruises as well.
With the longer daylight hours. Yeah, that's great. Okay.
That's great. Yeah, we just did Guanella Pass the other week.
That's our
Perfect drive.
That's our favorite.
Yeah.
That's such a good road.
Since it got repaved a couple of years ago, it's so nice.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's so lovely.
It is.
So if somebody else out there on the internet wants to do what we want to do, they just look up Denver Auto Enthusiasts on Facebook.
Yep, Facebook or Reddit, whatever your platform of choice is. But if you want to get all the latest and greatest news on cruises and stuff, that's Facebook.
Okay. And if you want to complain about the population influx in Denver, you can go over to gofuckyourself.com.
Basically anywhere besides Denver
Yeah.
enthusiasts.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Good luck getting the Miata home and all that.
Yeah, out of my driveway. Yep.
Well, Dave, that was delightful.
Thank you so much, Nick, for coming into the Blanket Fort and talking to us.
Yes, just it's nice to just hang out with a fellow enthusiast every once in a while.
Yeah.
And especially just to have someone here to laugh at our jokes every once in a while.
There's hope for car culture on the internet.
Is.
That's my big takeaway from the interview.
There is. Yeah. It's
right?
nice. Yeah, someone who's in it just to get people together and have fun.
Yeah, absolutely focused on the positive aspects. And A lot of times we talk about how we have to be the police officers for our own corners of culture. And I think that Nick is certainly an awesome representative of the good elements of car culture.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So if you're in Colorado, check out Denver Automotive Enthusiasts on Facebook or Reddit. It's also on Reddit. And join them up for a cruise or an event. So
yeah, look for the Wednesday night cruises. Yeah, go for a drive and have some fun.
Yeah, and if you like this nonsense, if you're new to the podcast, sorry.
Yeah.
But you can find more out about us at TeamClearCoat.com. We're on the YouTubes and the iTunes and the Facebooks and the Twitters and the things and the places.
Yeah, send us an email, teamclearcoat@gmail.com. And also, if you came to us by way of the live Unser event or from Denver Auto Enthusiasts, hit up Unser on social media, send them an email, and let them know if you'd like us to do another live event there, because Ian and I certainly had an amazing time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and we'd love to see more of you out there. So,
okay.
Yeah, awesome. So thank you very much, everybody. Thank you, Nick.
Yep. We love you, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Play the music, Dave.
Okay. Don't tell me what to do. You're not the boss of me.
I'm not.
You are.